say.
Hi, we're live.
Hi, everyone.
So, if you guys know and follow me on IG, and I think she did this. Wait, I hope you guys can still see us. If you cannot, give me a second. I have no idea what this is. So yesterday we went live, and Boomy was doing this. You know, another Mother's Day honoree. While we were on air. And I said I was going to figure it out. So today we actually have Shantay with us, who is another Mother's Day honoree that you guys did not get to meet yet. And the reason why you guys didn't get to meet her is because she wasn't able to attend the Mother's Day event.
I wasn't.
So it is funny because, and I'm trying to do this. 1 second. How do you do this? I don't know how. She found it somewhere. We'll have to find it and then send it or tag. So we'll do it later. I was trying to tag John. So where was I at? She wasn't able to attend on
Wednesday? Correct.
Because of things. But she found me at the studio, you guys, today. I know. So I look rough. It's all good.
She looks great. She just taught a class.
I just taught a hip-hop class. As you guys know, I do teach. Look, I was able to change my shirt at least. This from the sweaty one. But we wanted to get a chance and sit and talk to you, Tay, because you're one of the honorees.
I thank you. Yes. And I even have my flower.
So I gave her flower off camera because I was walking with it, so it was very obvious. But I had to wait until we got on camera to give you this. And you know what it is because you watched the show.
Yes, I do.
So yes. Yay! We give Shantay her little license plate thing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let me first start off by saying hi, everybody. And Naj, thank you for allowing me to be one of your honorees. Second, I just want to thank God for allowing you to have such a platform like this, where you not only are making sure that you're heard, you're actually paying it forward. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So we were talking off air for a long time because we haven't had a chance to catch up. But we were going over exactly what Get It, Got It Good is about, you guys. And, you know, for short, if you see the taglines and stuff, I name it G3. Just because it makes it easier on me.
We love, what, acronyms?
Yes, we do, right? So Get It, Got It Good, for you guys who may not have seen this before, is simply about getting people the information that could help them make their lives better, from going from point A to point B, and giving them examples of real life people who started maybe where you're starting at, and enabling them to get somewhere else, or teaching or giving that advice, you know, how they can move from point A to point B. And then once we give them or give you guys that information, we make sure you got it, understand it, and know where you can go to get more. And once you have all of that,
you do what with
it? Yeah, let's hopefully you do something with it. But as we all know, everybody doesn't move, you know. So, but I did my job, right?
Exactly.
I taught. So
exactly.
That's Get It, Got It Good, and you can find it on the WBGR Health and Wellness channel on Wednesdays at 11:30.
Nice.
Right.
Okay.
And then, of course, we're starting these Facebook Lives. We're starting the IG Lives, Zoom interviews, you guys. If you have not checked it out already, I posted the first part of the Brittany Ings interview, and she is an actress in the new series on BET called Boomerang. So I don't know if you guys remember that movie.
Of course. Who doesn't remember the movies of the toes curling?
Of all the parts.
You know I would remember that part.
Right? And so we talked about that. But with all that said and done, just remember to check us out. Follow us on all platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, IG, at Get It, Got It Good, G3. The only one that's slightly different is Twitter. It's Get It, Got It Good, G. No 3. For some reason, it wouldn't allow me, so whatever.
Please make a note of that.
Yeah, it would come up. So it is what it is. But hey,
yes.
So we never get to see this lady here because, and
I'm gonna do better. I've been so busy trying to work out my plan B and not really following my plan A. And Nagi and I were just upstairs talking because one thing you guys may not know, I grew up with this chick. I followed her. She was one of the older girls in the crew that I tried to be like and mimic.
I think I was 11.
Wow.
11.
And I was 5.
Yeah.
Does it tell you?
It tells you the bad things we were teaching.
Listen, it was all a learning experience, let me be honest. And Naj and I danced in college together. Minus growing up together, we danced in college together. Then we started to formulate our own business. I went to go follow my plan B. She continued our plan A and has been amazing at it. So as we were upstairs, we were speaking on, and I'm just like, have you ever been in the mindset of you're like, I don't know what I want to do with my life? Everything's been given to you, or you've accomplished many things, let me say that, such as I just graduated with my bachelor's degree. Yay, thank you. But now I'm stuck. What do I do? Job opportunities are not as, how do I say, available as they used to be. You know why? Because many people aren't leaving their jobs. The economy's bad, so they have to continue to work in order to, I guess, retire when they hit 80. So right now I'm kind of stuck. I'm stuck.
Right, when they hit, you guys put that right. When they hit 80.
The economy's bad. People, if you notice, people in their 70s are still working. Let's be real with it.
Now, why is that? Besides the economy is bad, what can people do differently to make sure they retire? And you and John do it so well.
Me and John do it so well. I was going to say you and John do it well. You know what it is? Have more than one hustle. That's what John and Naja does very well.
So let me say this though, in addition, because I know a lot of business owners who cannot leave their jobs or their business. They're owned by their business, and they don't have an exit strategy, you guys, and they did not put the money away that they needed. And so even if you are self-employed, then you got to have a strategy, you got to have a plan. So finances is something that I love to talk about, but I never talk about on air. If you want more advice on that, I do have information on that, so just hit me up and ask me questions. I definitely have licensed people who can answer those questions, but not the time.
Not the time.
So you're working on the plan B, didn't finish the plan A.
Didn't finish the plan A. Still facilitating the plan A, little small aspects. So plan A is, my heart is dance 24/7 all day long. Like, that's just what I want to do. I do work in the medical field because I still got to pay the bills. We still want our lights on, and we still want water.
Say, I always tell you guys, to do what you want to do, you have to have multiple streams of income. That includes working for somebody else. That includes mowing some grasses. That includes whatever it is that you can get money in your pocket doing. And so
that's why I commend you and John, by the way, aka John is my husband. I love you. Hi, honey. So you and John are so good at, number one, not being fearful to try something new. Because I believe you guys know, if you don't try it, how do you know if you're going to be successful or if it fails? And if it does, at least you can say you did it and move on to the next thing. I'm not so daredevil with that. Now that I'm 39, knocking at 40's door, I am wanting to try that. It's there. I'm wanting to try it now. So with that said, plan A, I'm still facilitating a little bit. I do teach liturgical dancing at my church, where I donate a lot of my free time to, because dance is my passion. But I'm going to be honest, Naja doesn't know. I'm going to talk to her behind scenes. We're going to have to hook back up because I need to live this out to the fullest.
So speaking of which, first step, dance battle, June 30th.
I will be there.
Dance battle, you guys. I'm going to start promoting that on air so that way any of my dancers that follow us can definitely know and have the information for that. The flyer has been posted last night, so it is official. So I'm excited about that. So just real quick, that's the best the best dance crew. 2 or more people, cash prizes, junior, senior division. The winners not only get, for the juniors, $350, but the senior winners get $1,000, and they get chances to perform at 2 upcoming events in different organizations, one of which being a Virginia event. So definitely DMV dancers, definitely definitely check that out. Go to the site and register for that. So dance it is.
Let's do it.
So you also was able to get your degree while raising kids, having a husband. Y'all, I'm not the only busy one here. This chick is always on the move. Family functions, everything.
That's by the grace of God, Naj, for real. So there's nothing in my life that I don't do without putting God first. Now that's just me. I'm just a very spiritual person. So with that said, yes, degree, yes, hubby, yes, kids. And I want to give a shout out to my boys, Jordan and Justin.
Hi, fellas who are not so little no more.
No, Jordan is graduating this year from high school. We are so extremely proud of you. And Justin's graduating from middle school, going into high school, which we are extremely proud of you. So with that said, I think when you have a mindset of being able to put yourself in an aspect of saying, I'm going to accomplish A, B, C, and D, you can do it. Yeah, so definitely. Is it that difficult? No. May it be rough when you're going through it? Yes. Definitely. But it's always accomplishable.
So it's priorities, is goal setting.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it's like, okay, I know I have something to do to get done.
Right.
So there's sacrifices that has to be made.
Many.
So in that, we've had this conversation before, but I'm going to bring it up again. Mm-hmm. Those sacrifices have cost you people.
We've lost many along the way. Let's just say that. Quotation, exclamation mark.
Hey, you're lost, right? Hey, Henry, how you doing, baby?
Hey, Henry. But with that said, you know, I think sometimes people are only in your life for a season and for a reason. And whatever that may be, you either feed into it or you don't feed into it at all. So with the fact that we have lost many along the way, but one thing I can say, Naja and I have always kept in contact no matter what. She's always made sure she finds out what I'm doing and where I'm at in life. So for me, this is something that's just meant to be, our relationship. But those that we have lost along the way, I believe if it's meant to be, you'll come back around full circle. If not, it's okay. Listen, we wish them well. We wish them many blessings at the same time. But I do think we have to continue on our groove, no matter what.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
Tell everybody in your circle Happy Mother's Day as well.
Happy Mother's Day.
So yes, full circle. You guys, most of my friends that I have come from when I was 11, 12 years old. Like literally everybody, like we're still talking.
Let's give a shout out to the Howard County Flower Stock.
YRC, Airy Brink.
All that. That's the crew.
Right? So that's funny. Talk about people still in your life and people still coming, like Corey and Monty were just together the other day.
Gosh,
so
I just ran into Tabian. Like, let's get it. So, yeah.
So all of our friends that are doing some big things, we were talking about the people who run clubs and everything. So you guys, on the show, we always talk about networking, right? And who better to network with than people that you've known or knew from your childhood? Call them up. It's no biggie. You guys had that relationship, and it's good to reach out and talk to people from your past as well. And there's no excuses anymore because we have this technology, Facebook, Twitter, where you can stay in touch with people regardless of where they're living at. Right?
Listen, facts. All facts. Everything you're saying. All facts.
So I've lost a few people.
Oh, I know. We will not mention their names.
So what happens a lot of the times, though, they're in your life for a season and they may leave your life because you going to go and do you makes them uncomfortable because they're thinking about their inefficiencies and their inabilities to do what they want to do. And so a lot of times it's not about you per se. It's about you doing something and they want you to stay the same so nothing changes. People hate change.
Speak. So she's truly preaching here. I totally agree with that. I never thought about it until you said it. You're right. People aren't really having an issue with you. What it is they don't like change, number one. And number two, some people just don't like to see you grow. You know why? Because then it makes them feel like they're stagnant and they don't have anything to look forward to. Only thing I can suggest, I think best key of advice is still love them, give them advice. And if you need to keep your distance when it comes to trust, I think it's okay to do that. I mean, some people may disagree with me on that, but I think you should always guard your heart. But I still think you should love. Love is the biggest thing that we need right now in this world. So.
You can love from a distance.
You sure can. You sure can.
That crosses all lines, though, because a lot of times people say, oh, that's my blood. And I'm like, it doesn't really, if somebody's in your life, blood or not blood, and they are making your life toxic, you know, family can send you to jail too. Family can get you hung up and hurt up too. So that does not mean just because they're family, you have to deal with them on a regular basis.
I agree.
You have to protect not only your heart, but your mind. What you feed your mind affects you. It comes out. It comes out in your illnesses. It comes out in your mentality. It comes out in your pockets or the lack thereof in your pockets. So definitely you have to mind yourself in your circle.
I agree. I totally agree. Listen, my mental stability and my ability to cope with myself is most important to me, honestly. Not to say that I don't love others and put them first, but if I cannot sleep with myself at night with something that I may have said to someone, whether that be a coworker, a friend, a family member, and I know that I was wrong, I have to clear my spirit of that. So I have to apologize if I was in the wrong. And that's one thing I'm not afraid to do. I think being apologetic and calling yourself out when you're wrong is the best thing you could ever do. You know why? It shows integrity.
Yeah.
It builds character, and it actually shows strength, not weakness.
Indeed it do. And it's not so much as if that person forgives you or not. It's more about, can you forgive yourself, and can you go on to live with yourself? Exactly. And eventually they may come around, they may not. But guess what? At the end of the day, you cannot control other people, and you're just causing yourself anguish and pain and destroying your life based on somebody else's opinions. Look, I always tell people, it's not my problem what you think of me.
Right.
Right? You have a problem with me?
Right.
Oh well, you don't pay my bills.
Right.
You don't have my husband, you don't raise my kids.
Right.
So what you think of me is your problem.
Exactly.
So I'm sorry, but that's just kind of how you gotta go.
No. I totally agree 100%. Listen, people's issues with you, it's not your problem. Give it up. Let it go. Don't dwell over it anymore. Don't sleep on it. Don't wake up to it. It's not your problem. It's their problem. And that's one thing that I am in my elder age. I've just realized that. And you know what? Let me be honest. It has freed me mentally, spiritually, and physically from so much pain. Because guess what? Those who have hurt you while you're dwelling on it, they live in their best life. Or at least, let me say this. Or at least they portray.
Yeah. So portraying usually is the case. And a lot of times we're so hung up and wrapped up on that person, and oh, they did me wrong, and you're spending all of this time and energy on somebody who's not giving you no thought.
Exactly.
And then you're like, well, I want revenge, or I want this and I want that. That's just poisoning yourself. And guess what? It's not for you. You will see if you just walk away and keep it to yourself and just move on. That what goes around comes around.
It does. Without even thinking in that way, never think revenge, because to me, that's not God's way. My goal is to become closer to God. So as I learned in my journey, becoming closer to God, I've developed more enemies.
Isn't it crazy? The more you live right, the more people start to hate.
Well, see, what I think it is, and Henry, you may agree, I think people are just, God is revealing who they really are to us. So it's not really that they're coming for us, it's just they've always been that person, it's just never been reflected to us.
Yeah. So. The mask comes on. And I think perceptions change. Like when you change the way you think about something, you start to realize things about people that you may have been doing or participating in yourself. Or you may have been thinking about the same thing yourself. So like, I liken it to, if you're a club hopper, remember those days? We
love those days.
Okay, so y'all hear the music in the background, right? Okay, so if you're a club hopper, then you're gonna hang with other club hoppers, and you're not gonna have no problem with that. But yet, when you become a mother, right, and then you see something in that club that you say, oh, I wouldn't want my child to see this, you start to think differently, or you start to say, oh, I can't be out this time of day because I need to get home to my kids. So it's just about your perception and how you grow and change. And so going back to motherhood, with the balance and things, what have changed for you once you started having kids?
Ooh, what has changed for me in the balance of motherhood? Making sure I never, ever leave that house without telling my family that I love them and giving them a hug and a kiss. That is the most important thing to me. And my cousins can all relate to this. Even back in my day, like I promise you, God put me in my family for a reason, to disseminate more love, like really. Because my family were not big touchers and huggers and kissers and saying I love you. So it is something I used to always do as a kid. But when you have kids, you look at the world differently. You're like, what type of citizen am I raising? What type of citizen is this person going to be in the future, right? You know, is he going to be somebody that people are going to look up to? That too.
when you walking through.
Right.
Sorry, but y'all make me mad. You see me coming and you're just like, there's the door.
Yeah, what does Steve Harvey say? He says, take it back to, is it chivalry? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Chivalry. You know, hold the door open for a lady. Or for the next person, you know, just show love, man. So one thing as a mother, I've learned that always tell your kids you love them. Always tell them that you're proud of them, and build them up. Do not tear them down, because guess what? The world is going to try to do that the most.
Yo, words are powerful. And a lot of people, remember sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. That is a lie.
Extremely.
Words are more damaging and damning than sticks. Look, you can heal a broken bone.
Yes. But
the words that people say to you will replay and steal you or rob you from your future, because you may think, okay, so Tammy Turner, who was one of the Mother's Day honorees, was told she can't sing.
Wow.
Right? She'll never make it as a singer. Now, as we all know, she's making it well as a singer. She's very talented. But she was afraid to go and live in her dream because of something somebody told her when she was a child. So you never know what damage you're doing to somebody. You know, keep your opinions to yourself.
I agree. Listen, if you cannot spew positivity, then don't say it at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it's how you really feel, I think we should. I think it's the problem, you know, with everything going on in the world today. People have found their voice, but their voice is very toxic and evil. And what we have to continue to do is to stay centered, stay focused, stay positive, and remember that if no one else loves you, you love yourself. Indeed.
And people won't generally love you unless you love yourself anyway, because they're going to treat you like you treat yourself. And a lot of times we treat ourselves worse than somebody else would, which is unfortunate. And you have to pay attention to your self-talk, because while we're saying don't say something negative to somebody else, don't say nothing negative to yourself either, right?
Wow, yes.
So it's the worst, because you're with yourself all day long.
I never thought about it like that. You're right.
It's terrible. Like, I am my own worst enemy.
I agree with that.
And a lot of times you have to get out of your own way. So it's just, that's how it goes.
So that's where I am right now, trying to move out of my own way. Trying to, you know, find new avenues, things that I've never done before. Although very challenging, and let me say this. I don't fear, but it can be a little fearful. Because you never know what people are going to think, what people are going to say. And I'm not big on people's perception. I could really care less. But I do think some way it affects people.
It definitely do. And you would not be human without it.
Okay.
Right?
That's true.
So you definitely do. But then you have to sit down and think and just use logic with yourself. You know, like the good side, the bad side, and talk to yourself.
Right.
Yes, I talk to myself. Is no look out age, right? Talk to yourself. Call me crazy. I've been called crazy all my life. I'm good with that.
I think crazy is good. Weird is good. You know why? Normal. Exactly. Because it's not, it takes you out of your element, your normal box or tunnel vision.
You have to think outside.
Not on the insane side, though.
Yeah, I know a few of them. Speaking about being a little bit different, if you're going to do anything in life worthwhile, you're going to have to go against the grain, and that's just the way it is. And you're going to catch a lot of slack going against the grain. You're going to catch a lot of slack, because the fact is, if it could be done by anybody would do it. And most people have the ability to do it, they just don't have the mindset to do it.
Okay.
And the reason why people don't have the mindset to do it is because they don't continually do self-development.
Okay.
And a lot of times when you graduate from high school, you think that's it with education.
Yes.
But you have to continually educate yourself, and not necessarily on, you know, the 1942 or 1742
Right.
or what happened historically. Know your history. But educate yourself on your area of expertise.
Right.
Dancers continually drop in classes and take different classes and learn different stuff.
Yes.
If you are a doctor, you're continually learning new medications,
constantly.
new techniques, new
Yeah.
equipment. So you have to continue to learn. But don't forget about your self perception type of things. Like, what does leadership look like? How does leaders act and think?
Yes.
How to deal with people. A lot of times, regardless of the profession that you're in,
Right.
it deals with people.
Listen, yeah, real talk. I
Right.
mean, customer service or being able to speak to people, that is in any business. Let's not get it twisted.
If you're going to be successful.
And one thing I've learned through, so I just read random stuff too. I read a lot of spiritual books, but I read random stuff just on like how leaders become leaders. You know, how they hang around other leaders. You've done it. You know, how do you become an extremely talented professional dancer? You hang around other dancers.
Yeah.
So you have to associate yourself with those who you are either mimicking, modeling, or choose to excel above.
Yes.
So,
Surround yourself with people that are better than you. If they don't scare you, then you're in the wrong crowd, because that means you can't learn anything. If you are the brightest bulb in your group, then you're in the wrong group. It's time to step it up a level. And if you guys notice, the themes are reoccurring every week, every interview, everything that I do on here with everyday people. But there's a common thread of success that you'll hear from every guest, and it's the same thing. So go back and listen. Hang around with the right people. You are the people you hang around. You are the books you read. You are the CDs, the music, the everything you listen to. Now, don't get it twisted. I still listen to some ratchet stuff.
trap music.
Right? I'm a dancer. I listen to everything.
Me too.
However, you have to put more things in positive than anything else. Like, you put garbage in, you get garbage out.
Great metaphor.
Yeah,
I totally
mean,
agree.
that's
I
how
agree.
it goes.
And that's been proven over and over. Let's be realistic. Listen, if your circle is getting smaller, don't be fearful. That's a good thing.
Just think about it. Wouldn't you tell your kids, don't hang around certain groups of people,
course.
because even if you're not doing anything wrong, you're
Of
going to be
course.
associated with that group
Yes,
of people? So
yes.
we tell our children that all the time.
So why don't we
do
follow the lead? Exactly.
it? Don't smoke.
But I'm smoking. Do as I say, not as I do.
Oh my goodness.
I can't stand that.
I want to show people.
Right.
It is what it is.
Listen, live your life, but live your life as you portray it to be, or as you speak it. Don't be one person behind the scenes and then another person at work.
It will come out.
All the time. All the time. Don't be a faithful, participant in church on Sunday and then cussing like a heathen Monday morning.
Oh my goodness. I know so many people who stay out of church because of the hypocrites or the church people.
Which is
Some of
why
them.
the attendance is so low, because
Church people
we
are
have
the
become
worst people
hypocrites.
sometimes.
Yes, we are.
It's
We
like,
will
really?
cuss you out going down the road Monday morning and was just talking about thank you, Jesus, amen.
Well, it don't even gotta be money. It could be on the way to church, on the way. Get out the way with all kinds of.
Yes, come on, y'all. Let's work on being motivating and just better, a better us. Listen, we always have the opportunity to be a better us. If we messed up today, we have tomorrow to correct it. So let's just do it.
So speaking of different people,
Yes.
am I different in front of, because people.
No, I'm going to have to say, she doesn't even have to finish asking that question. Naja has been the same person. I've known her from day one. Listen, she's always been a grinder. She always sees the best in everyone. She allows more than one opportunity for you to screw her over.
Unfortunately.
But it will be noted. Please know that. And guess what? She will not change her face, because this person you see and on her other shows and speaking and dancing, Naja is that person. She is genuine to the heart. So if one
I used
thing,
to be a little meaner.
maybe
No.
to the fellas, because they try to be slick. But no, you're
They still
genuine,
try to be
and you're the
slick.
same person. Meaning same person as far as
Core.
genuineness,
Yeah.
the core. But your growth is amazing. So kudos to you.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah, you're welcome.
See, Yeah, we're crazy. Anyway, you guys, we have stuff to talk about off air.
Yes, we do.
Because everything shouldn't be public.
Not at all.
Speaking of everything not being public, sometimes you have to grind in silence and then let your success show for you. You don't have to announce everything that you're going to do, because people will set you up and sabotage you and downgrade you and do whatever they can to stop your shine. If it's meant to be, it will be.
Yes.
So do not worry about what others think. You're not doing this for others anyway. You're doing it because it's your passion. You're doing it because you love what you do. You're doing it for the community. You're doing it for whatever reasons. It's not to get the approval, or it should not be to get the approval, because if you're doing it for somebody else, it won't last and it won't make you happy. So if you're after happiness and being a good example for your friends, families, associates, you never know who's watching you, right? So definitely don't do it for anybody else but yourself.
Totally agree. Always impress yourself. Listen, people, like Naja said, they will not know how to love you unless you love yourself. So always love yourself first. Real talk, I mean, facts all day, knowledge, kicking the knowledge, and all that good stuff. Listen, I think networking is great. I think people should network more. Something I'm learning.
You know why people don't really network a lot, or they don't think so? Because there's a lack mentality.
Okay.
People, especially in our community, sorry,
Facts, tell it.
they feel as though I can't help this person on a come up because she's going to take my spot. He's going to take my spot.
Crabs
and
in a barrel.
Yeah, crabs and birds. Hey, we in Baltimore. We in Baltimore. That's how it goes. But here's the problem. If you work together, you all can come up together. It's not a lack mentality. And I think that also breeds people doing some backstabbing, conniving stuff, all in the name of trying to get ahead. But what you're doing is you're ruining your perception or what other people think about you, because then they're like, oh, I see what you did to that person, and then I don't want to work with you because I know what type of character you have, right? Yes. I won't work with certain people just based on what they did to somebody else, because I'm like, look, I ain't even got the time for the games, right? So when you're about your business, be it in a win-win type of way, because it is possible. If it's not a win-win situation, then it's a no-go. So just had to say that real quick.
Agreed. I think that's a great way to end the show.
Yeah,
really.
Definitely.
Agreed.
And as always, being original, because an original is definitely worth more than a copy.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Later.